What's good, y'all? We're back here. We're finally getting the podcast segment back on. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally getting back in the groove of it. We're here today with Ryan Rakowski, state championship at Palos Verdes High School. So tell me how you're feeling, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm
course.
feeling good. Definitely super blessed to win state last year. It was just great to show out for my community. Seeing everyone come together like at the games and stuff, like there's really no environment. There's people sitting up in those walls, like everything's pretty much filled up. So it was super cool to win and just keep playing for my community. So yeah.
Right. So going into that game, or going into that week, I should say, now that we're on topic of the state championship game, what was that preparation like for you and as your guys' team as a whole, like going into that big game?
It was just like a lot of film study stuff. We kind of saw like some weaknesses of the other team that we could exploit. So just kind of playing our game, not like letting the moment get too big for us. I think that was a big thing. We kind of just like all trusted each other, and obviously we had a really good game. We won by like I think 40 or something like that. So yeah, it was like 35-40. So we got them pretty good, and they were a good team. They were like 14-0 coming into it. So it was just a really good showing from us. It was on TV, so really good exposure too. And obviously it's super cool. Like all those guys are my best friends. So just going out there and playing the game that we all love and winning the state, it's something that like I'll never forget. So yeah.
Right. It's definitely a memorable experience, especially for a lot of the guys that are older on that team. And
for sure,
to put numbers up like that in a state championship game is kind of crazy, because it's always the best of the different cities and stuff like that. But you talked about like your friends on the team and stuff like that. How's your relationship with your teammates going?
I feel like they're like the relationship between me and my guys is just like something. Like I said, it's just those guys are my best friends. So whenever I need something like off the field, they need something, we just help each other out, and like we always give each other advice, and we're really like just like a big brotherhood, I feel like. And yeah, I'm super excited for this season too, because a lot of those guys are returning, and so yeah, it should be really fun.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with football, and that's what I really love about football, is that it's a brotherhood, and it's more of a family type of thing when you're on a team, and it's something I don't think that any other sport experiences, is just because like football is a year-round sport. You spend the most time with that team,
For sure.
especially in a big program like Palos Verdes and a top program in certain other schools. Football never stops.
For sure.
So
definitely.
You're always around that guys and your brothers and your group of teammates. So I think that's awesome.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah.
So where did you grow up at? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up Harbor City. It's kind of near like Torrance, Lomita area. So I grew up there, but I played sports all along my life, like baseball, basketball, football, all like on this field pretty much. Football here, and then baseball I played at Rolling Hills Little League. So yeah, I had a lot of good memories there. And then basketball I played like in a few different leagues around the area. So I really like met a lot of the guys that I'm playing with now in football. Like I really met those guys through other sports, and like we grew up together. So it's been like really cool, just like kind of like a full circle moment, because we grew up together playing. So, and now we're playing high school level together. So it's really cool, and definitely like something that I'm not taking for granted at all, because there's a lot of kids out there that, they're going to the top schools in California, like just to play football, but they didn't really grow up with those kids. So I feel like I'm getting kind of like the best of both worlds, because I'm getting to play with my best friends, but I'm also playing at a really good football program.
Right.
So yeah, it's really cool.
1000%. And that's another thing I love about football. It's like you said, like it's a whole full circle effect, to where it's like you play with dudes when you're younger, 6, 7 years old, or 12 to 14 you, and it's like you grow up with them, and you guys all go to high school with different high schools. But it's crazy to see like, I have a brother here, I have a friend here, they're like all over.
Definitely.
So I think that's really cool. You used to play basketball?
Yeah, I used to play basketball and baseball. I was a point guard, and then I played a little bit of pitcher when I was younger. But then as I started playing quarterback, I was more of a shortstop, because I didn't want to hurt my arm. So yeah, I was.
You gotta limit your pitches and stuff like that.
Turn 2, stuff like that, double plays.
Right. That's
shortstop,
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Where did you play? Where did you play youth ball at?
For football, I played. I was a big flag guy, because my parents didn't let me play tackle till I was in 8th grade.
That's a lot of kids, dude. I have a buddy of mine. He ended up playing at Oregon. Swavapote. He coaches at Bosco now, but I believe he didn't start playing football till his 8th grade year.
Yeah.
So something like that. Tackle football.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like it's kind of like a good move, because you kind of get like the intro to football, and then like once your body's kind of more developed, you get to play. But yeah, I was playing at Downey, like I told you earlier. So started off at Downey. One of the coaches hit me up. His name's Coach Joe, and he was a really great coach. He just like really took me in with open arms, hit me up, and I was like, I didn't really have a team at the moment, so I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna play with you guys. So it was like a super cool opportunity. I met a lot of dudes there. And then for my second, 8th grade year, I played at PV because I knew I was going to PV high school. So I played with PV Mavericks. Got to play with a lot of my friends again, kind of built those relationships. So it was just like a really cool, good 2 years of getting experience for tackle going into high school.
Right, you get that development, that experience going somewhere else. It also gives you like a new change of environment from over here to like Downey, which is a little bit down the way.
Definitely.
So you get a nice little change of environment.
For sure.
You talked about like your coach and stuff like that. So how would you say now, like your relationship with your coaches is now?
Like at PV?
Yeah, like at PV.
Yeah, I mean, they're great coaches and they're great people. So it's like I said too, with like my friends, I could really ask my friends or my coaches, like if I need help off the field, if I'm having like some problems or something like that, I could always come to them and really just like they'll hear me out and give me advice. So it's definitely like a great relationship. I mean, all the coaches here I really love and enjoy being around them for sure. They're really like cool dudes. They're just like funny guys to be around, and they have like a lot of knowledge for the game. So it's cool to be around guys that you could have like that type of relationship with, where they're super good football guys, but they're also like dudes that you just like being around.
Right. No, I think that's a big thing in especially in high school football, in a world where a coach to have a relationship with his players individually rather than like as a whole or as a group. As individually, you know as a coach, when you got a guy.
For sure.
And I think you got to hold that one close and be there when he needs you, like you said, for certain reasons, like outside of football. So I think that's awesome relationship that you have with your coaches here and things like that. But you're obviously a top recruit. You get a lot. There's a lot of attention on you. There's a lot of eyes on you. What is instilled in you going, like staying at a place like PV? It's a perfect program for you. You succeeded well here. The program is obviously a state championship winning program. But what stops you from kind of branching out or going to wanting to go to other schools? Because I know right now a big game is the transfer game.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids are transferring out from different schools to go into different places. How does that keep you steady here and happy to being here? So
I mean, for me, it's just like a big loyalty thing. Like they welcomed me with open arms. My freshman year, I was able to start as a freshman. So, I mean, I'm getting, like you said, I'm getting looks and stuff, and I'm super grateful for that. And like, there's really no reason for me to transfer. Like, in my opinion, like if I'm getting like where I want to go is college, and if I'm getting the looks to play in college at PV, then there's no reason to transfer, and I still get to, like I said there, like I get to be around all the guys that I love and love playing with. So it's just like a really good situation, I feel like, and it was just like the right place, right timing.
Right.
So yeah.
I think that's really awesome to hear, because like nowadays it's really hard to find like a loyal player and somebody that kind of sticks it out through the ups and downs. Because and in football it's an up and down game where it's like it's not going to be sunny shiny days every single day. You're going to have your days where coach is on you. You had a bad game or certain things like that. Then I think it's how you roll with it and how you take the criticism. So I think that's awesome that you feel that way about this program, because I believe it's a great program. It speaks for itself.
Yeah,
coming off of the state championship, so that's definitely awesome to hear.
For sure.
Who in the league right now? Well, I shouldn't say right now. Of all time, who would be your top 3 quarterbacks of all time?
I'll say Tom Brady at 1.
Right.
I mean, you can't really you can't debate that with all the Super Bowls. And then me personally, I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers, because he's my favorite quarterback. Personally.
I seen that in an interview that you were in.
I gotta go Aaron Rodgers at 2. I'm a Packers fan, so grew up watching him. Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, dudes
Jordy
like that.
Nelson was the dog.
Yeah, he was a dog. And then 3 is a tough one. I feel like there's like a lot of good dudes, but I mean, I feel like Mahomes, what he's doing in the league, like you got to put him up there.
He's gonna become eventually.
For sure.
If he keeps going down the path, he's going to eventually.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, for sure. So I mean, talent-wise, he might be the best of all time, but greatness, I think Brady's up there. And
and that I think the most relatable football player ever you could relate to Kobe would be Tom Brady.
Yeah,
that cockiness, that greatness, and stuff like that.
For sure.
But like you said you were a fan of Aaron Rodgers. Would you say you model your game after him and certain things like that?
I think there's like certain things that I take from him that I definitely model after, like kind of arm slots. I think he grew up playing different sports as well. So like for me, baseball, there's like a lot of stuff. Like I said, I played shortstop, so just kind of different arm angles in baseball. I could apply that to football. Like there's a lineman right in my face, I'm not gonna be able to throw it right at his helmet, so I gotta like throw it around him. So it's definitely like stuff like that, and I think his accuracy and just like touch, the way he could manipulate the pocket too. I think like those are things that obviously you want to try to apply to your game with such a great quarterback. So yeah, I think there's definitely stuff that I try to take from him for sure.
You said that playing baseball kind of helped you be able to certain ways to throw the ball. Do you think that playing basketball and playing baseball, like other sports growing up and throughout your years, helped you develop more as a football player?
I think 100% did, because like there's movements that you need to use in football where it's like you really can't like replicate it in like a practice or something. It's just like a game. But like in basketball, there's like stuff that you do in basketball that you can't do it in practice for basketball, but you'll get it from playing football, and you'll get like some type of movement from basketball that you could apply to football. So it's like, I think there's really like, for anyone that's like trying to be like, if you're going to play one sport in high school, I would definitely recommend you playing like different sports when you grow up. Because I mean, for me, I was like, when I found out like I really wanted to dedicate myself to football, I was still playing other sports because my dad, he would always tell me too, he's like, you got to play different sports because they help you. And it's true. Like you listen to these like college coaches and NFL coaches talk, they're always recommending dudes to play different sports too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, especially when recruiting. You know, you see a dude that's a dual sport athlete, strength and
sure,
and college coaches love that, love
for
to
sure.
see that. But definitely when you get to college, sometimes you're gonna have to make the decision, or which one am I better at, or which one am I gonna succeed in. But no, yeah, that is super dope. So what is your preparation going into the season? You know, you guys come off a big state championship winning team. You know, how do you replicate that? What is your guys' preparation going into this season? Your mindset in a way, because I mean, I feel like you guys got a lot of big shoes to fill again.
Yeah, I feel like another thing about PV that I really love is our coach, Coach Gardner. He really installs like a great mindset in us. Like we're not really even looking ahead that far for another state championship. We're just trying to take it like tomorrow, our next practice. How can we get better next practice, and kind of apply that each like every day. How could I get better to eventually lead us up to that moment where, like I said, we didn't even feel like it was like, obviously it's a big moment, but we weren't thinking like that. We were just thinking, okay, this is the next game that we're playing. And I feel like that's how we are going into it this season too. How could we get better at our next 7-on-7 tournament? How could we get better in our next, or when pads come on, how could we get better at our scrimmage? How could we get better at each practice? Just stuff like that. So I feel like that's kind of our mindset going into it. And then obviously like on the game days, we're really thinking like positive things. Like we've trusted our film preparation, we've trusted our practice, and now we got to apply it to the game. We get 4. Obviously in football, there's only 1 game a week, but you have like 4 or 5 practices. So it's really like comes down to the practice. Like, how did you practice this week to get you ready for the game? Because you're going to be going against the looks that team's going to be giving you. So were you fully focused, or were you just like messing around in practice? So I think for us, like we're really trying to lock in each practice and get the most out of that time that we have, and then apply it to the games on Fridays.
Right. And with football, I think that is 100% huge. And football is a sport where you can't take days off. You know?
For sure.
And the days that you do take off, if you were to, you're going to see it in your work ethic and your practice. And I think it's like I said, it's a year-round sport. It's nonstop. And I feel like if you truly love the game and you know you have an act for it, you got to put it 1,000% into it, because there's other guys out there that are not going to stop working. So when you're doing that and you're taking that time off, they're going to capitalize on that.
Definitely.
That's where it kind of throws you guys off of it. But what does your playlist look like going into game day or game week?
It kind of depends, because there's like some, I mean, like on the game days, I'm usually, my freshman year I would like bring AirPods and stuff to school and like listen during class, but now like I kind of just like chilling in class and just like thinking like visualization, like in what am I going to be doing in the game, and not kind of like focus on the music right away, because obviously it gets you pumped up. So I'm just thinking like good thoughts, and like how could I prepare like even more, even on Friday, kind of like think what are they going to do if we line up in this and they're in this coverage? What am I going to do? And kind of like get myself ready for the game. And then probably like after school gets out, we get out at about like 12 for our 7 o'clock games, and then like 3 o'clock games we get out at like 11. So like after our school, we're released from school, I'm kind of putting the AirPods in, getting ready, kind of start listening to some chill stuff, and then like once we start, like people start getting taped before we go warm up, start listening to like the rap stuff, kind of get myself pumped up. So yeah.
So it starts off slow and it comes
and then
off
kind
big.
of gradually rise to that. So
right.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that with a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We did an interview when Warren played Tustin with Madden, the quarterback at UCLA now. He said all he listened to on game day was like most likely is like Daniel Caesar and slow stuff, certain things like that. So I think it might be a quarterback thing where it's like just slow at first, but it picks up because it's definitely got to pick up.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. How do you come into this season? You know, you're like I said, you're a national recruit. How do you keep a level head in this situation where it's like, okay, I'm a state championship, the media is on me. You know, it's just kind of like a lot of pressure to me, a junior going just in his senior season. So, or vice versa.
I think like my people in my corner, they just kind of keep me level headed. Like always remind me that I got work to do, and I always remind myself that like if you think about it and like where I really want to go, like I really haven't done anything yet. I'm only like playing in high school, and to the level that I want to get to, like it's really like this hasn't been anything of where I want to get, like I said. So I think just kind of reminding myself that, just kind of applying that each and every day, how could I get better mindset to my life, and kind of just thinking like in the big scheme of things, I'm not trying to like look too far into the future, but like kind of remind myself like you haven't really done anything yet, like keep going and just keep pushing, because there's like, I mean, like you said, football is a grind, but like I love every second of it, because I think it like really teaches you life lessons too, and there's like you can't really like replicate that in other things. So I'm just like super grateful to be in this position, and yeah, my family keeps me humble. So yeah.
Right. And I was just gonna ask you about that. Like, how's your support system on field and off field? You know.
Yeah, my mom and my dad are like super big supporters of me. They always are at every game for me. They always show up for me. I could talk to them about anything. Same thing with my grandparents and just like my brothers too. I got one that's 13, one that's 7. So they always talk trash to me, telling me I'm not good and stuff. So it's funny. If I throw like a pick or something, my little brother he'll get mad at me and he'll be like, "That's why you threw a pick."
He's saving that one. He's
he keeps it in his back pocket. So yeah, I love them to death. So I mean, my little brothers are definitely a big part of my motivation, just trying to make them happy and proud of me, and same with my family. And then I also got my cousins too. We're really close. 2 of my cousins, I mean, all my cousins are super close, but I talk to 2 of my cousins every day. They're twins, and I talk to them every day. I always talk to them about like, they're like really like brothers to me. They're in college, but I mean, the relationship that we have, we just talk every day, and like literally anything I need, I just shoot them a text like, can I call you real quick? Like we're really there for each other for anything. So yeah, I would say like my family is a big part of my support system, and then obviously my teammates, my coaches. That's like I said, they're really like family to me. So I feel like, I mean, everything. I've just been like super lucky to come into such a great situation like PV, have like a family on the field, and then off the field, go to my real family and really just like have that same kind of atmosphere. Yeah, so it's definitely a big blessing, and then just keeping God first too, because wouldn't be in this situation without God. Really just like keep myself humble through God, and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah,
definitely as a quarterback, you know, I think that's huge to have that kind of support system as a quarterback. You know, because what people forget to understand and see that quarterback is the main position on that field, and it is the toughest position on the field, because not only do you have to know what your receivers are doing, your line's doing, you also got to learn you got to read the defense, what coverage in, how could you break it down, you know, and then you're gonna see what routes are going down forward, you know. So to have a support system like that is huge, rather than going home with no support system on the field, kind of like a crappy support system. So I think that. Do you think that has a lot to do with the big part of your success?
Yeah, I would say so for sure. But I mean, like I said, on the field, like my teammates, they're super good. Like our line, I mean, those dudes just dedicate like every play. They don't get any of the shine. Like they're out there working. They're like the hardest working, like people on the team pretty much. Like they're in the trenches, like getting physical every play. So, and they don't really get any of that look. So like I try to kind of like, I mean, I can't put myself in their shoes, but like kind of feel like super grateful for them because they're working their butts off for me. So, and our team, and we can't really like, we're not working as hard as them because we're not getting physical every play, and those dudes are just grinding. So yeah, I feel like I'm super grateful to have my team around me and my family, everything like that. So yeah.
I feel like O-line is so slept on, bro.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
Like,
I think in all of sports, it's definitely the most slept on position. They're the most selfless people that you'll meet because they don't get any of the shine, and they're just doing it like working their butts off every
seriously,
play.
you know, you get a receiver that's catching an
Yeah,
80-yard pass.
exactly.
Like you people forget like
Yep,
your line is
for
what
sure.
set that up for you.
Yeah, if you don't have a line, you don't have anything. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's why I'll forever stand by that. You know, O line and D line, I should
Yeah,
say too. They don't get enough credit
for
on the
sure.
field because
For
they're really
sure.
they're really what's making it happen on the field.
For
So
sure.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have a lot of kids that look up to you. You know, you're like I said, you're a national recruit, a top quarterback in your class. How does that what does that mean to you, and how do you kind of set that example for these younger kids that kind of look up to you in a way?
I just kind of try to be myself. I'm not trying to do like anything crazy. I just go interact with people the same. How if I'm talking to like some, like let's say if I was talking to a celebrity or I was talking to like a little kid, that like it wouldn't change. Like I just really try to be myself and kind of relate to like everyone because I think there's like you could find good in like each person. So um, and obviously like the kids that come around here in PV, they're super like energetic. They're super funny. So like I love being around those little kids. Like even like my littlest brother, he's awesome. He's 7, like I said. So just like kind of being around him and his friends. So it's like really cool. The kids at his school. So I mean, I love like hanging around like different people and just like relating to everyone, kind of like feeling everyone out and kind of getting like a backstory on each person. I find it like super interesting, like like where everyone came from, because there's so many people in the world, and like I feel like it's super cool to like interact with everyone and just like kind of just talk to everyone. So it's like definitely something that I'm like super grateful to have like such a, I mean, even like people that I don't know, like just like that support system, like just talking to each other and like just yeah, like it's super cool for sure.
I think that's what's so dope about football, and it's so awesome. Like you come into a sport where you have so much different culture,
Yeah,
you got so many different
definitely.
people, and you kind of get a glimpse of everything, and you kind of get a feel for everyone's culture.
Sure.
You know, like I tell everybody, like my music playlist is crazy because like I could get like reggae from like
Yeah.
like from the Samoan friends that I've hung out with,
Yeah,
and
for
rap
sure.
from like Mother's Brothers and
For
stuff,
sure.
things like that. So I think it's an awesome sport
Definitely.
where you kind of get a feel for
Yeah,
everything. You
yeah,
know?
for sure.
But so you're going to OT7 what next week?
Next week, yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm super excited. It's like one of the most fun. It's definitely the most fun 7-on-7 event. So, I mean, going out there and like I'm playing with my guys here at PV, but then I kind of get to branch out, play with those dudes from other schools, and they're obviously super elite athletes, really good football players. And I mean, everyone at OT7 is like really good. So I feel like the separating factor is like kind of like your work ethic and how you go about things, like because like in 7-on-7 especially, like one play could change the game, so you really got to be like perfect throughout the.
And you got the money drives.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't get the money drive, then you're basically gonna lose.
Right.
So
how was that atmosphere there at OT7? Because I know from like it's very different from atmospheres than like a regular 7-on-7.
For sure. Like there's not that many people in the crowd, but then like they have the games on TV, obviously. So like I'll go back and watch it, and I'll be like, dang, this is pretty cool. But then like when I'm out there, it's like just like a regular game. Like I'm just playing like a regular game. The only thing I like is weird about it is there's like TV timeouts, because like they gotta do like we'll be on like a drive, and then they'll be like, oh, TV timeout, and then so that's like the only like interesting part about it. That but I mean, it's like college, because they have those in college too, where you gotta have a TV timeout. But I mean, it's like super cool going, like being able to watch back like on a live actual stream with like announcers and stuff.
You got thousands and thousands of people watching.
Yeah,
you know?
it's cool.
A 7-on-7 game, you know, which is
they do a great job at OT7 of like really exposing people for
Right.
sure.
They definitely do. You see their content more than anything on
for
social
sure.
media for high school
For sure.
football. So I think that's awesome.
For sure.
And it like you said with the money, not the money drive, the TV timeout. It kind of gets you a little bit ready for college. It kind of gets you that feel like, like, okay, this is like, because it's a big momentum shift in a way, like you could be driving down the field and then boom, TV timeout.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of kills it. But so for this season, what are you most excited for?
I'm excited for a lot of things. I think just like the more like I get older and stuff, obviously I'm like young, but as I kind of like look back on like my past few high school seasons, like I'm just trying to like take every practice and every game, like not take it for granted, because like these are the moments that like when you hear like NFL QBs, college QBs talk about like football and like the stuff that they like really loved the most and they had the most fun playing was in high school. So I'm just trying to take these moments and really like cherish them, because you're not going to get them back. So I think just like going out there and just having fun with my guys is like the most important thing for me. Yeah. And obviously I get to play the sport that I love, so it's super fun. So,
right. Yeah. Like I'm going to touch base on what you said, and I relate it because I played at Bosco and played football there. So there's no better feeling than playing under the lights on Friday Night Lights. In any way, I think you have to take into that consideration and enjoy that moment, like because you got like diehard true fans in here, alumni and things like that rooting on for your guys' team, and I think it doesn't get any better than that. There's no better feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
But what are some of the big games you guys are kind of you're I should say you're kind of excited for this season?
Week 0 or week 1 we play against Sarah. Gardena Sarah. So they're obviously super, super good. They have a ton of talented athletes, really good coaching staff. So I think that's like we start off the season with a bang. And then we play Edison again this year. So that should be a really good game. They're obviously super good program in Orange County. And then we play Banning. They beat us last year. So I'm looking forward to that game to play against them, kind of hopefully get our revenge. I mean, they're a good program, so. I mean, all of our games are hard. We play a team from Hawaii.
That's awesome.
So they're coming here. Then we play against Carson. They're a good city section team. They have a lot of good athletes. And then in our league game, or our league opponents, obviously Bay League is probably one of the best public leagues in California. So we play against Lawndale, Miracosta, Inglewood, Lusinger. I think that's it. Culver City. So those are obviously really good teams. So
definitely,
I definitely am looking forward to Inglewood because they beat us last year. So I want to hopefully get our revenge again. And then Miracosta is our rivalry game. So we play them actually on October or Halloween at 7 p.m. So it's gonna be at their house. So it's gonna be really rowdy there. So it's gonna be really fun for that.
How does that rivalry game look for you guys?
I mean, it's like because PV and Manhattan Beach are like kind of like two.
Literally,
rival, yeah, they're like next to each other, and like we got beef with like their players, and they got beef with us. So like that's probably the most fun game of the year. There's like a lot of trash talk involved and a lot of shenanigans that goes on. So
and then you get the whole crowd into it
too.
There's
like that game is like last year we went into overtime against them, and then they score with like 2 minutes left. We get the ball back. It's like 4th and 10. And I find my running back, Andrew Habif. He makes a great play for like 30 yards on 4th down. We keep going, kick a field goal to go into overtime. Overtime, we score a touchdown. Then they get the ball. They don't score, and then we won. So it was like crazy because they could have. And that was like, if we didn't win that game, we wouldn't have made playoffs. So we wouldn't even have had that state championship run if we didn't win that game. So it was a huge game, huge win for our program. So,
that's definitely a huge win. Let's talk about that drive then. I should say, You know that if we don't win this game, or we don't send it into overtime, our chances of going to playoffs is done. So how do you deal with that situation going into that drive? Knowing that I got to score here we got to make something happen.
I think it goes back to that one play mentality, just like focusing on the play that's at hand, because that's like what our coach preaches the most. Like just focus, because it's easy to get caught up in like the big scheme of things. Like if we don't win this game, we're not going to the playoffs. So. I think like just focusing on the play that's at hand.
Definitely got to ask you a question, bro. So if you were to put your offense together in a way, what players would you put on it? That dream team in a way,
I'm going to just do California. Madden, Williams outside. That's my guy. We got a great connection. Vance Spafford, slot. He's obviously super good. So I'm going to say Vance. Then other slot, I'm going to say DJ Tubbs. That's also my guy.
Super shifty.
Super shifty. He's always open. He makes like a lot of contested catches too. And then other outside, I'm going to go Jalen Flowers. Also young like DJ, freshman. He's a national recruit already. He goes to PV. So two-way athlete. He's up and coming for sure. Definitely a future big-time player at the college level, high school level. So yeah.
I think if you get the right line in there, size line, I think you guys could play some college games with that team.
I'm gonna take my PV line too, and then shout out Coach Frenchie. I'm taking him as the line coach.
Okay.
That's my high school line coach. That's my guy, Coach Frenchie. So I'm taking those 5 dudes up front, and then Coach Frenchie is my line coach.
That's super dope.
Yep.
So you kind of touch bases with that team, or like the OT7 team, I should say, and then your team here. How do you like being able to kind of like be diverse with that and kind of move like to different teams, because it's not always easy to play on 2 different teams or 2 separate teams because culture changes and things like that, or just like different vibes or different atmospheres. So how do you take it?
I think here at PV, I mean, those guys I have like a good connection with, like Jalen I was saying, and then we got a kid named Morley Boyd. He's a super really good slot receiver. Always open. He just like finds places to sit in zones. And then we have some good other guys too, a lot of good young guys. And then at Trillion Boyz, I mean, those are obviously like a lot of the top recruits in the nation.
Definitely.
So I mean, I love playing with both. So I just really just I'm grateful to play with both because obviously the dudes that you're playing at OT7, it's 7-on-7, but like it's better competition than playing against like a specific high school because it's like you grab like a lot of those dudes from different high schools, you're gonna have like a god squad, but just one high school, it's still gonna be good talent, but it's not gonna be as good as like those teams that are hand selected. So yeah, I mean, I love playing with both. So yeah,
I think it's great because you could potentially be playing with somebody on your 7-on-7 team in college or playing against them. So I think it's it's pretty awesome. You can kind of start that relationship and that bond rather than going to a college where you kind of don't know anybody or certain things like that. But that's dope. So you guys taking it all this year at OT7?
I think so. I think we have a good chance. A lot of our players are missing though, but we have a lot of good out-of-state guys. So we're going kind of back to that out-of-state roster.
Right.
So we should have every team there is talented. It's just like I said, you got to play like perfect because one play
could affect. Especially
like
you said in 7
change your outcome of the game. So I mean, all the teams are good, so it'll be a good competition for sure. I'm excited for it.
Right. So how do you like traveling like that? Because I think it's a good thing for you, because you kind of get that feel for it and that you're used to it. But like, it's very different for a lot of kids that aren't a national recruit and things like that, where you get to travel to certain places like Dallas, Texas, Florida, Vegas, and things like that.
I think it could be like exhausting if you're going like back to back weekends or something like that. But I mean, I like it. I think it's like cool to travel with like the guys that like, for example, Josh Stupin. He's like my guy, and I love traveling with him because he's super funny. And then we have like a thing on Trillion Boyz we call G-Wagon. It's me, Jude Nelson from Milliken, Troy Foster from Huntington
Beach,
and then Cohen Parnell from Mater Dei. And we're like, they call us G-Wagon. So we're just like, we're really close on those trips. And like, we're like, I feel like it's like a super funny group. We just like all interact well. And then obviously like all the dudes on the team, we interact well. And like one of my favorite things about it, traveling, is like trying all the different food.
Right.
And the different areas. Because like Dallas, it has like amazing barbecue. And like
that Texas barbecue,
yeah,
dude.
It's like super good. And then, I mean, like everywhere has different stuff that's good. So it's like really cool to travel and like try different stuff, see different areas, because
a lot of places, a lot of people,
exactly. You meet a lot of new people too. So
definitely. Yeah. I went to school. Josh went to Bosco for a bit when I was there. I was a year older than him.
Guy.
Yeah, he was there for a bit. He's cool. He's cool.
Yeah,
people.
for sure.
He's definitely turned that organization into something.
For sure, it's really cool.
You got a lot of top recruits on that team.
For sure.
But who was your idol growing up? Like, or I should say, maybe it doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be football or anything like that. Your idol kind of growing up into it.
I would say probably my grandpa. Right. He played at UCLA.
Oh wow! So it's kind of been.
Yeah, he played at baseball and football at UCLA. So like I always looked up to him in sports. stuff, and then he's just like a really great person. He's a lawyer too, so he's like super smart, and I feel like I could just take like a lot of stuff that he has in his life and like kind of try to apply it to mine. So yeah.
Definitely, you kind of get that legal side for you, kind of looking out for you in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
No bad people out here trying to kind of
for sure
and things like that. But how do you mentally prepare for big games? I should say, like big type of games where the cameras are on you, people are watching.
I just kind of look at it like I'm just grateful to like play in a big game and not try to like over hype the moment and not let the moment get too big for me. And I think like that's something that has helped me a lot because it's like I said, it's easy to get caught up in like all the hype and stuff. But like for me, just going out there playing the game that I love, kind of refocusing on like just having like a good mentality going in the game, just having fun with it. I think like that's the biggest things to help me. So yeah.
What do you think the most challenging part of your career has been so far? Like at one moment.
I would say like it's kind of like just my size. Like a lot of people doubt me because of my size, but I feel like I definitely make up for it with my mentality and like I'm not the biggest dude, but I'm gonna play like I'm the biggest dude because not like run people over, but like my mentality, I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not going out there thinking, oh, we're not gonna be able to beat this team. I'm thinking, yeah, we're coming out here with I'm taking my guys over your guys, and I'm willing to put my body on the line to win games. So I think that's just the competitor in me and kind of using that doubt and like the naysayers, just kind of proving them wrong and kind of using, I mean, it really just comes down to competitiveness for me. That's like my favorite thing about football, just competing. And I think that like the more that people doubt me, it brings the best out of me because I'm gonna go out there and do my thing.
Kind of prove them wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I think there's a lot of great quarterbacks that have actually went through the whole system, NFL and everything like that, and panned out from being a little bit shorter than most average quarterbacks. Sure. I think you kind of get that chip on your shoulder and it makes you hungry.
For sure. I think so for sure too, because I mean that's kind of like a big motivation of mine, just kind of proving all those doubters wrong, not only for them, or not only like proving them wrong, but proving myself right too, because I've had it ever since I was a kid to kind of have big aspirations of playing big time football. So just kind of going out there doing my thing.
Right. How do you take that criticism in a way where people kind of tell you, like I said, you're well known in the media world and in the whole high school world. So how do you take that criticism to certain people that it's kind of telling you like you're too short or you can't do this or do that, things like that?
I'm just like I just kind of rub it off. I mean, it doesn't really affect me. Everyone could have their own opinion of me, right. But I'm gonna go out there, show what I could do, and just have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, just having fun. And for me, I'm having the most fun when I'm just competing and just playing against good competition, just having fun with it.
Right. And when you're having fun with the game, you kind of forget the atmosphere or like the situation here. You're kind of just having fun with it and you're feeling yourself.
For sure.
What moment in any type of season in your high school career where you kind of made a play and you kind of like maybe I am that guy, like you kind of felt good about it,
Yeah. I try to not even like think about it like that, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It's like hard because I feel like we like as a team we had a lot of good moments like last year, where I thought like we were like when I knew we had like a good team last year, it was when or like a good mentality. We were like backed up. We were like 2-4, lost to Banning, lost to Culver City. We're playing against Lusinger, who was like a top 10 team in the state at the time. And we're backs against the wall. We come out like 30 seconds left, and we have like a 60-yard touchdown to win the game. And I was like, okay, like we're not scared of anyone. We're not going to back down anyone. Like this team has a shot to go far. So, and then we ended up winning state. So I think that was like a defining moment for us in our season.
Right, definitely. To win state too, it's generally crazy and awesome for you guys. But going into that, what you said you guys were 2 and what?
2-4.
2-4. How do you, as a quarterback, kind of keep that confidence and those high hopes, like kind of like keep your level head in a way, so where it's like you're not gonna get down on yourself or down on the team because you guys are you're not having the record that you guys want to have.
I mean, I just think there's obviously like with being 2-4, like at that time, there's gonna be a lot of people that are saying stuff like negative things about PV, negative things about like each individual player. So it's easy to kind of doubt us, and I think like it comes down to like the trust thing, just like trusting each other, like not focusing on our overall record, just trying to win the week.
Right.
And I mean, like, one thing that I would say is like at that point in time when we beat Losinger, I was just thinking like if you switched up, stay on that side. That was like kind of what I was saying, because there was a lot of people that kind of switched up on us. Hope. Yeah, they were like kind of going into the season, they were saying like how good we're gonna be, and then after like we started off rough, they were kind of just like switched up. So that was like kind of my thing. But I kind of had that chip on my shoulder. Right. So yeah.
Definitely kind of helps you too, and as a way in a quarterback. I feel like you kind of have to be a little bit of cocky as a quarterback, but more humble than anything at the same time.
Yeah, I think so. Because I just try to be humble, but obviously you got to have confidence to play the position, because there's got to be like some type of swagger that you just got to have. So
right, like every great quarterback has a little bit of swagger. Like Mahomes, in a way, you know,
sure.
he could do what he could do.
For sure.
He's kind of that guy.
Definitely.
But I think I want to say that's it. We appreciate you coming on. You know,
I appreciate you.
It was great. We wish you the best of luck this season. I think you're going to do wonderful things, and we hope to see what your future endeavors. And definitely hope to have you back on soon.
For sure.
We appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much.
Sir.